Guys, how's it going? I am here to do the reading for May 2019 for Aries. Cards, May 2019 for Aries. Now, I want to start with the astrology for the first 15 days. Sorry, May 1st, May 15th. Okay, also a card we've seen before. The energy is kind of rough, I'll be honest, for the next 15 days. I'm recording this on May 2nd. Cards for Aries, energy for May 1st through 15th, please. You may have felt like really angry the last couple of days. And I'm going to read it this way. These are both cards that we've seen. You may have been feeling angry the last couple of days because Mercury was running the gauntlet. If you have planets anywhere between 19 and 24 degrees, you will be feeling this the most. Because basically what's happening is Mercury came in at the end of April and ran the gauntlet, because first he squared the nodes, then he squared Saturn, and then he squared Pluto. Now he will be going into Taurus on the 6th. There is a new moon in Taurus on May 4th, so that will ground some of the energy. The problem the last couple of days has also been that the moon was traveling through Aries, so really just kind of fiery energy. The issue is that then Venus will take her turn through the gauntlet, squaring the nodes first, then Saturn, then Pluto. I like this is a fiery energy card. Put it here. So first, so on the 6th, she's gonna square the nodes. On the 7th, she'll square Saturn, and on the 9th, she'll square Pluto. Now, since Mercury, there's a lot of planets in Taurus, including the Sun and Mercury, and Taurus responds to Venus. That energy of her kind of getting beat up by those planets is going to be felt also in the Sun, also in our thinking. So things could be a little bit challenging for the next 10 days. What they're both gonna it's about evolving out of past patterns. Your relationships could find themselves being extraordinarily tested in the next 10 days. Don't make too many decisions right now. Let the energy pass. I would say wait until the 15th when Venus goes into Taurus. Aries can be a little bit hot-headed. I know. So now is not really the time to make long-term decisions. Wait until all the planets have cleared Aries and aren't making such an angry aspect to the other planets in the sky. And then with kind of like a slow, methodical energy, you can assess everything that came to light, or everything that you became aware of, feelings, patterns, new information, new thoughts, whatever grew in the first 15 days of May, you'll have the rest of the month to deal with it. But I would advise right now not to make any drastic decisions if you can avoid. They may come to you anyway. If there are drastic decisions and shifts, then know that they are actually gifts for you, and to not try and hold on to them. Yeah, that's what I thought. That one right in this is like coming in fast, tension. And then, so like this is a Venus card, Taurus card. So wait until Venus gets into Taurus before doing anything. 2 5s right in the middle. 5s are conflict and opportunity, but they are turning points. So there's this kind of like rushing to war energy that's been going on at the beginning of the month, which will come in and come out as quickly as it did, but it's going to kind of leave this feeling of childish games and battle and maybe being, the classic left out in the cold, abandoned. The end of this period, the end of the 15 days looks much better. So you just kind of have to persevere to get through these first 15. Now let me just look up this one. I know, oh, sorry, my cat literally just stuck her head out. Hang on, sweetie. So this is just, sorry. There she is. Let me look this up because it's a great energy, great fiery energy card. And I will be right back, and then let me move my cat. All right, so let's start here. The cat has gone back to bed. This is the Egyptian eagle, basically the phoenix, rising above, out of the ashes, rising into the light and out of the dark. And that's also another one of the themes that's going on here, is to sort of moving out of the dark and into the light, or something coming to light. Maybe you finally see the light of an old pattern of a bad relationship, of childish games. So something will sort of emerge to be visible to you over this time. Now, with these Venus squares and these Mercury squares to Saturn, Pluto, and the nodes are turning points, right? And with that T square that's going on there, that's kind of what the fives are. They're transition moments, chaos, conflict, which inevitably leads to a change in direction, as the night's going this way and everyone else is going that way. So there's something, what will be required of you in these first 15 days is to become very clear on where you are repeating old behaviors that are not good for you, because it's time to walk away from them. Perhaps getting into like old conflicts, that these old battles that you're fighting end up leaving you, feeling like you've lost all your resources and are just playing foolish games. And, it's like, is this the relationship you want? And this is the relationship that you have. The examination of the things that bring you pleasure, what they're costing you, what they are worth to you, what you're willing to invest to make something that you want happen. These are all themes that are going to be coming up in these first 15 days. There's also a lot about being willing to do the work. This talks about giving up too early. This talks about in order to be reborn, there is a process that must happen, and it's a rebirth through spiritual energy. And so it says to those people who have been doing the work, this is a moment of transition. For those people who are just starting the work, so like maybe more over here, there's a little bit of ways to go. And then this card here in the reverse position is about kind of like blowing things up. There's a lot of sort of rebellious energy here, fighting energy. This is, I'm not going to do it your way anymore. This is running into battle. This is, mayhem, like it's anyone's game, which is very different than how it ends, which is nice. So we do sort of end the first 15 days on a much calmer and quieter note. And it looks like actually this whole process of having to go down into the depths allows us, which is this card, allows us to resurge at the end far more powerful than we started. So this one says, if you've got an idea, if you've been doing things, this talks about breaking patterns, about doing things differently. So in this next 15 days, anytime that you find a conflict developing that's coming out of old behaviors, any shift in an equation will bring a different response. So you just have to move one little piece. Any piece in in this puzzle will move you out of past behaviors. So, but you have to be willing to choose to do things differently. This one here, this exchanging gifts, which we've had before in the upright. Now it's asking, what are you willing to invest in your own gifts? What are you willing to invest to get what you want? Are your relationships out of balance? To look for imbalances between things that bring you pleasure, but what you're offering and what you're getting back. And if you're currently in a place where you're giving a lot to a situation and it's not giving you anything back, then you have to be willing to do the work, to make the sacrifices to get where you want to go. Which is kind of this, you're going to have to give something up to walk to that Empress. You're going to kind of have to give up this battling here, because they're going in two different directions. So the battling has to leave, the one that leaves you feeling completely demolished. These people have literally nothing left. And then from nothing left, we rise to the major arcana. So the progression is good. I feel, as I said at the beginning, I think the energy is going to be a little bit rough for the next 2 weeks. Never a nice thing to say, but the promise of the outcome seems to be much better. So we'll check this again on the 15th. But for right now, keep your head about you. Remember that this kind of chaos and conflict is going on. It's making you take a long, hard look at something in your life and is asking you to bring to light where the imbalances are, things that are making you unhappy, and what is making you not feel like the Empress. And to get rid of that, start doing things differently than you've done in the past. If you have to walk away from the pack and go your own direction, then do so. Again, I would advise holding off on any sort of major decisions until after the 15th, but definitely use these next 15 days to gather as much about this situation as possible. Okay? I will see you for the new moon reading.